Hello everybody, and welcome to I think the final episode in Ricoh GR 101. This is the after hours session, and I'm going to do a little Q&A. I've been through some of the questions that have cropped up along the along this journey with all of the previous episodes, and I've talked about answering those, and we're going to do that now. Hope you liked the short video the other day. I know, blatant advertising. It's to gain more subscribers, but that is how I am going to be performing backups when I travel, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm a bit superstitious. I have booked a trip going down to the south of Europe, and I will be taking all sorts of gear with me, including a new tripod I've acquired, and the Ricoh GR is going to be put to the test as a landscape camera as well. So more on that later. All of this is going to be hands-on stuff that's coming up in the next series, Ricoh GR 102. But let's get to these questions that have popped up in the comments sections of all the previous videos. Stephen Gotts would like to see some more night shooting and night settings. We could do that, Stephen. But for now, I will include a link down here in the description where you can check out a night session I did with when I was out shooting gas stations, brightly lit up gas stations at night. I was out for a couple of hours, took the car out, went for a drive on my own, and yeah, shot these gas stations. So link down below to that. It's one of the older videos on the channel, and yeah, some of them turned out quite well. I really like those shots that I got. Esky Nilex would like to see some more videos shooting out in the field. Actually shooting. Well, Esky, that is the whole point of the next series coming up. I'll show you some of the gear in a video before we go out, but I've got a GoPro that I use, and got a nifty new kind of necklace thing, so the GoPro hangs around my neck, and it will be able to film everything I do with the camera, the tripods and things like that. Chris Geiger and Everett Kjellgren ask how to back up the camera off camera, and what they actually mean is all of the settings that you can create when you're customizing the GR, and then we saw that you can back them, you can create a backup of these custom settings, and eventually add them to one of these settings here, user 1, user 2, user 3. How do you do that and back up the settings of the entire camera off camera to a file, for example, to the SD card, and then take a saved copy of that SD card on a computer? Well, guys, I'm sorry, but you just cannot do that. Not with the current version of the firmware. That's not possible. Someone mentioned Pentax can do this. Someone else mentioned Fuji can do this. The Ricoh cannot. Vic Rods asks how to save a recipe. Well, Vic, when you change any of the built-in recipes, let's just take a look at one of those now. I'm gonna go into this one, screen mode, lower the screen brightness so you guys can better see. Zoom in a little bit more. Like that. Got the camera right there. When you change any of the settings of a recipe, you can see I've just selected Vivid there. If I press the FN button, I can come in and check out what's going on in Vivid. Then any changes I make, they will be saved automatically. You don't have to actually press a save button. So they're saved. I press OK to that, go away from that, go and maybe choose a different one there, back on standard, go back in there, back to Vivid, press the FM button. You can see there where I increased the high-low key adjustments by +2. they are still there. So they are saved between shots. And when you create a custom image control profile or a custom recipe down on these two down here, wrench 1 and wrench 2, these are where you can create your own based on one of the others. These are automatically saved as well. I have 2 videos, previous videos, that I will also link to down here in the comments, where you can see how I create my favorite monochrome profile and my favorite color profile that I ended up calling the Like a Look. Okay, so those videos are linked to down below, and you can see that there is no save button. It just happens automatically. Okay, that was Vic. Now, John A. How to update custom settings once you save them to one of the user controls up here. Well, that's a really simple one. And get into shooting mode. I'm going to turn this dial on around to user 1, and this is the this has still got the settings I made for testing out snap distance priority with the black and white. Now, if I wanted to make a small adjustment to this profile and save it again on user 1, it's very simple. All I would do is, let's say, we'll get out of that custom monochrome profile and go back to the standard color, like that. Select that. Now it's in color. Difficult to see when I'm pointing the camera down at the tabletop here, but it is in color now. So what I would do is I would go into the main menu, go over to custom, go up to the first page, user mode, and then save settings, and I would simply resave the same settings over the top of the original. Hit that enter button, hit OK on that, and so those settings have now been saved again, and we have overwritten what was saved to user 1 on the control dial. Okay, so that's how that works. Very easy. You just overwrite the other one with your adjustments. Next up, Richard Dunstan asks, can you set the shutter button to snap only and still use autofocus and shoot on the touchscreen? Yes, you can, Richard. In this mode that we're in now, with snap distance priority, the shutter button has no half press effect. So that when you half press, it doesn't focus on anything, does not attempt to focus on anything. You just have to go all the way through and take a snapshot. Okay, that is in snap distance priority. If you wanted to do that also in, say, aperture priority or shutter speed priority or manual control, all you have to do is go and change your focus mode to snap. So we go in the menu up here. I've got my focus menu here. Go all the way down to the bottom there. Set that to snap. I'm happy with my snap distance at 3.5 meters. And now it does not autofocus when I half press. But I can still do what Richard was asking about. Activate the touch screen on the back, and it will still autofocus, point and shoot. So that's selected now, like that. That will snap, and this, I need something to focus on. That was autofocus, point and shoot. So yes, Richard, you absolutely can. Okay, Michael Long. Michael Long asks, can you save images to the internal memory for use later? For example, for use with multiple exposures. Michael, I do not believe you can. The only time the camera appears to use internal memory, remember this camera has 2 gigabytes of internal memory, which is good for about 120 JPEGs or about 40 RAW files. The only time the camera will use the internal memory is if you take the SD card out and continue shooting. You will save your images to the internal memory. There are functions within the camera menu where you can then copy images from the internal memory to an SD card. But I'm afraid that multiple exposure will not be able to go back and look at other images you've saved previously, not in the current firmware version at least. And you can't dictate which memory to save your files to. So sorry, sorry, Michael, that doesn't appear to be a possibility. And some of you might notice my lens ring is not on the camera. I have not lost it, but in a couple of weeks, like I mentioned, I will be going on a trip, and I'm taking a lot of gear with me, and I will also be taking the Nisi master filter kit, so I'll be taking that on and off. So I am leaving the lens ring at home because I don't want to lose it while I'm away. Another question by Everett Kjellgren. Sorry, Everett, if I'm butchering your name, but Everett asks, if you edit a default image profile, can you reset it back to the original? Yes, you can, Everett. Good question. Let's go up and see, for example, the popular positive film or negative film. Press the FM button to make customizations to that, like that. And if we go in and look at, for example, high and low key adjustment for negative film, you can see it's +1 when I go in. Now that's not something I've done, it's +1 by default. So if I move away from that and make some changes of my own, then you can see there is a tiny tick mark on the scale there, and that is telling you exactly where, or maybe I should zoom in a bit more there. That little tick mark on the scale there is telling you where the default setting was for that. So that's how you can get a customized built-in profile back to its standard settings. Okay. Next question was Babette's Feast. A young lady asked, will I do a demo for street photography settings? Absolutely. When we start out on Ricoh GR 102, the series, we're going to take some very broad genres of photography: street photography, landscape photography, abstract photography, black and white photography, and we're going to do a series of videos on each one. And probably gonna like jump in at the deep end with each of the subjects, and then delve into how to get the best out of the camera and how to improve things, how to change over time with certain things as well. I, for example, do not shoot street photography anymore like I used to do. When I first got this camera, and I'll be able to show you some images of some of the very first street photography images I made. They're very, very different today than what I used to do. So you kind of change, you evolve, your confidence grows, and all of those things change the way you shoot. And so yeah, Babette's Feast, we will be looking at all sorts of settings for street photography and how I like to do it. User DDO2540 asks, could I demo highlight weighted metering and exposure compensation with highlight warning and zebra warnings? And the answer to that is yes, we will do that. What he means is, he or she, I should say, when you're shooting in highlight weighted metering, if you're doing it with, for example, aperture priority, and go in here and I select highlight weighted metering, then highlight weighted metering and spot metering can be a little bit aggressive and kind of just really zone in on the highlights, and the rest of the screen can go very, very dark. Well, then you've got your exposure compensation up here, where you can say, okay, I like to push that just a little bit more to lighten up the shadows that highlight weighted metering is creating. And but at the same time, I don't want to blow the highlights. So then you could go in and activate highlight warnings. I don't know if I can do that here now. You can see that the camera blinking red in the middle there. Maybe. There. You see it blinking red? I don't know if it's picking that up, my video camera, but that is a highlight warning. The Ricoh GR3 and the GR3X do not have zebra warnings with various degrees of warning, but it does have highlight warnings. And anything that is very close to being blown out in the highlights will be highlighted with a really annoying flashing red warning in the area of the overexposure. So that is it for today's Q&A. That is it for Ricoh GR 101. Of course, if any other questions pop up along the way when we start out on Ricoh GR 102, then I will be more than happy to answer them and do another session like this. But there's going to be a short pause now of a week or so before any more videos start to get uploaded, where I plan and film and edit some of these videos that are coming up. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe because Ricoh GR 102 is starting soon, and we're going to be out there getting our hands dirty and see what this puppy can do. Okay, that's it for me for today. I'm going to go and edit this now and shorten it. So take care, everybody. See you in the next series. And thank you for all the support and the very kind comments. You've all been wonderful. Thank you. Bye-bye.